Hi, this is Coach Lesa Frye with Embrace Your Beautiful Life Coaching. Today, I want to dive into one of my favorite topics lately, which again is money. And really, I want to just talk about money basics today. I know growing up in my household, there really weren't many money conversations. And in school, there was nothing taught at all about money. So what I do remember is a couple of tips of advice that I received. One was to ensure that I save 10% of all my income. And then the second tip was to balance my checkbook every month. And yes, I'm dating myself. This was back in the times where we actually wrote checks, we recorded them in a register, and at the end of the month, we balanced our statements. This was before the invention of debit cards. So that was the extent of my money education. And so now it seems we all know that we need to earn money, save some, invest some, and give some away. But the question still arises quite often, well, where do I start? What do I do with my money? And that answer varies from person to person, and it does depend on whether you're a W-2 employee or whether you're self-employed. Today, though, I want to share just some basic tips with you. And these tips will work for you no matter what your situation is. They're a starting point, and it is important that you do them in this order. So step number one is budget for a better life. What you want to do is create what I call a zero-based budget every month. So if you're a W-2 employee, for instance, and you know that your take-home pay every month is, let's say, $6,000. What you want to do at the beginning of the month is take that $6,000 and spend every dime of it. Tell that money where to go. That's what's called a zero-based budget. And this is really the basics of reaching all of your financial goals. Because how do you know if you have income for the other goals you want to achieve if you don't have a budget? How do you know what expenses you need to cover if an emergency should arise or if you lose your job? You don't if you don't have a budget. So step one is to budget for a better life. Step two, create an emergency fund of $1,000. Statistics show that 64% of Americans could not put their hands on $1,000 if they had an emergency. Don't let that be you. Create that emergency fund. Put $1,000 aside in a separate savings account that you don't touch. Now, an emergency is not, I saw this great pair of shoes and I have to have them. It's not, oh, I want to go on vacation. An emergency is, shoot, my air conditioner went out or my car needs to be fixed. Those are the times that you touch that emergency fund. So that's step two, $1,000 emergency fund. Step three is to pay off all consumer debt. Credit cards, car loans, student loans, personal loans. Focus on getting them all paid off. Now, any federal student loans that you have currently, the payments have been halted on those. The requirement to make a payment has been halted until January 31st, 2022. So those payments you were making to your student loans, instead of paying on the loans because now they're earning zero interest as well, use that money to pay off consumer debt. Okay, so step three is pay off consumers' debt. Step four is to go back to that emergency fund and continue to build it. And you want to build a reserve of 3 to 6 months of expenses. And I would caution on the side of 6 months of reserves to be safe. But again, individual situations. These are just the basics, the starting point. There's a lot more to learn. There's investing, there's saving for college, there's saving for retirement, there's paying off the house. All of that comes after you have these 4 things in place. Remember, you're capable of living a joyful life and mastering your money. And you don't have to do it alone. If you need help, ask for it. It's always available to you. And of course, as a life and financial coach, I tell you this in pretty much all of my videos. I'm here to help. Just simply reach out to me and book your complimentary consultation. You are worth the effort. So let's work together to make a plan for a roadmap to reach your goals. Thanks for joining me, and make it a great day.